Okay. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to call this meeting to order. So I will start out by asking any disclosures of pecuniary interest. Councillor Stedall?
Yes, I have with regards to item 14.2 under the bylaws.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. You've done all that you have to do there. Anybody else? Okay, declare that closed. Thank you. And I'd ask you now to stand for the Indigenous Land Acknowledgement, the national anthem, and then we'll be able to sit down. Thank you very much.
We begin this meeting by acknowledging that Quinte West is on Indigenous land that has been inhabited by Indigenous peoples from the beginning. We thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. Long before today, there have been Indigenous peoples who have been the stewards of this place. In particular, we acknowledge the traditional territories of the Anishinaabe, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and the Mohawks of the Bay of Quinte First Nation. This territory is covered by numerous treaties. We recognize and deeply appreciate their historic connection to this place. We also recognize the contribution of the Métis, Inuit, and other Indigenous peoples have made, both in shaping and strengthening this community in particular, and our province and country as a whole. This acknowledgement serves as recognition of the contributions and historical significance of Indigenous peoples across Turtle Island and demonstrates our collective commitment to meet the promises and address the challenges of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission within our community.
Please be seated, all except for Councillor Kotsovas. Are you just coming back from the Olympic Games? And
Yeah, I wish.
you wish.
I wish.
Well, I certainly like your sweater.
Thank you. 2002.
That's how old you are, but this, you've had it for a while. Well, that's good. I'm glad you have taken good care of it, and I just hope we do well. Thank you. Need approval of the agenda, please. Councillor McHugh, second by Councillor Reid.
Mr. Mayor,
Comments?
Open remarks.
Pardon?
Open remarks.
just on the agenda?
Okay, go ahead. I'll just get all in favor of the agenda. We'll get that done. Okay.
Just a comment, if we could have, make sure that the public meeting for the parcel of land that's on the agenda for tonight, if we could have that after 4:30, because that's how it was advertised,
Okay, well,
just so you know.
that's fine. Thank you.
Thanks.
We can do that. Yeah, that's not hard. Okay, approval of the minutes of the regular council meeting held on February 4th, 25, and that they be approved. Mover and a seconder for the minutes, please. Councillor Quinte moves, seconded by Councillor Allier. Comments or questions? All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. We now have a public meeting for the.
That's the one he wants deferred.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we defer it till later on. That's fine. Okay. We just want to beat the weatherman out of here tonight. That's our only objective, and get work done first. So, Anyways, any
Delegation.
delegations? We got Lindsay Nash here, Stewardship Coordinator, Quinte Conservation. So come on up, Lindsay, you're on.
Hello, my name is Lindsay Nash, and I am the Outreach and Stewardship Coordinator at Quinte Conservation. I am here today to seek council support to apply as the lead applicant for the Green Municipal Fund Growing Canada's Community Canopies Grant, which I'm going to refer to as the GMF Fund. So Quinte Conservation, alongside the Quinte Urban Forest Network, are proposing to be the lead applicant for this fund. And by doing this, we would provide our 18 member municipalities the option to leverage funding and Quinte Conservation staff report for planting projects, both existing and proposed, as long as the trees are not planted by the time that we receive the funding. And as the lead, we will focus on planting diversity of native tree and shrub species. So this fund has a very wide range of eligible project types as long as they have a permanent forestry intention and can include street tree planting, urban planting, park tree planting, riparian planting, forest restoration, and reforestation on both public or private lands. So a few projects that would not be eligible for this fund would be transitioning natural healthy ecosystems like wetlands or grasslands into forests. The focus would be on reforesting already disturbed areas. Now, a maintenance plan and a survival assessment report are required following each project, which means the annual community bare root tree giveaway is probably not eligible, but I'm still working on looking into that. So my timeline for this project starts right now. I'm going to all of our councils at their February meetings to get support. So Quinte Conservation can only apply with a letter of support from council because this is a municipal fund. And even if you don't engage your municipal programs in this fund, by providing support, it still allows us to leverage funds with other groups. So groups like schools, churches, Girl Guides, field naturalists can work with us and obtain these funds with your support. So I have a deadline of the end of March for municipalities and private interest groups to get back to me with a project outline and where they think their proposal would fit with this grant. And then by the end of April, I'm going to formally apply for the grant, with a professionally reviewed planting plan and an urban forestry grant coach provided by the fund. And then after application, there's about a 6 to 8 month waiting period to see if we're successful, which puts us at tree planting for late fall 2026 or spring of 2027. Now, we have a period of 2 years to actually plant the trees, which means pressure's kind of off for fitting into our timelines. And then the following years, we will maintain and monitor the planting trees. So Quinte Conservation's expectation in working with municipal partners and private interest groups starts with a letter of support from council, which is what I'm seeking today. A financial contribution of 50% would also be required. A tree planting budget with the source of funding identified. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. Identification of what you would like us to plant, so your proposed programs. And then if possible, if you could identify sites where an increase in tree canopy would be beneficial, either on private or public lands. And then if you have any data or tree canopy studies to support or identify the need for trees, that would make our application stronger. Again, every municipality has different information for those last 2 points, so whatever you have, it's just bonus for the application. And then in exchange, Quinte Conservation will coordinate administrative and logistical aspects of the application, will assist with leveraging additional funding where possible. We will act as a liaison between municipalities, local interest groups, and the funders, and we will submit the final reporting. So the financial details. This is a 50% match cost share grant, but what I'm looking for is to build upon what people are already planning to do. So I'm not seeking funding from the municipality or any other group. What I'm looking for is to double what people are already doing. And there is a minimum project cost of $50,000, which is why I'm engaging all of our member municipalities as well as private interest groups, because most of us don't have a $50,000 tree budget. And when I talked to the funders, they did want me to let you know that there is a maximum budget of $10 million. And that goes between now and 2030, I believe. So half of the budget will be covered by the GMF fund, and the other half could come from either your municipal budgets, private interest groups like schools, churches, Girl Guides, field naturalists, etc., fundraising, or other grants. So this grant is stackable as long as the source of funding for that grant doesn't come from the 2 Billion Trees program. And that's because that's how this grant's funded. So what we can do is we can increase but not replace your existing municipal tree planting budgets. And this tree planting cannot be part of any legal tree planting requirements. So if there's some sort of developer agreement with tree planting, that would not apply. So implementing a watershed-wide tree planting initiative through different levels of partnership creates capacity for the community to work together while supporting climate resilience close to home. There's many reasons why planting trees is beneficial. The number one reason that Quinte Conservation likes trees is because it creates resiliency through flood retention. But then trees also reduce carbon dioxide and produce oxygen, which is good for our physical health. They reduce heat island effects in urban areas and cool buildings with shade in the summer, as well as provide a windbreak in the winter. By connecting with nature, we improve our mental health, and diverse tree species promotes healthy soils and habitat for a wide range of insects, birds, and mammals that are specific to the Quinte area. And this aligns well with Quinte Conservation's vision to advance watershed knowledge and collective actions to strengthen our natural ecosystems. And here's my contact information on the last slide, and if you have any questions, please let me know.
Very much, Lindsay. Anyone have any questions or comments? Councillor McHugh and then Councillor Elliott.
No, I'm all for planting trees. I just wondering if maybe the CEO Angelo could answer this question. Will we not have to maybe go through Parks and Recreation and see what programs we have in existence right now before we step forward? And because she's asking for projects, do we have any right now, and do we have a budget that is being applied to planting of trees?
Through your worship to Councillor McHugh, and perhaps Mr. Tracy can add and to some of the comments I'm going to provide. So we currently, as many of you know, have a partnership for Trees for Life. We've had this ongoing partnership for the last, I'm going to say 15 to 18 years, where we made a commitment over a number of years and for the foreseeable future for a tree planting program already in Quinte West. Additionally, we fund a seedling giveaway program through Quinte or through Lower Trent Conservation Authority as part of our giveaway program as well in the early spring. I think what Ms. Nash is asking for is just for a letter of support from council so that they can apply for funding. We can certainly have further discussions about other opportunities for stackable grants and partnerships, but at this point in time, I think she's only asking for a letter of support from council.
Thank you. Okay. Next. Go ahead, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Question more for staff with this. If there's some groups out there that are interested in doing something with the city, is there something that can be arranged? I'm just thinking of maybe the Horticultural Society or community gardens or some of those groups. They might be interested, but they would want to work, I would believe, through the city to make sure, like with the grant, the funding coming in. I am wondering if that's an opportunity for us.
Through your worship, yeah, I have met with Lindsay. I think the key thing tonight is for us to give support for the program, and that allows her to have direct access to the other agencies and groups within Quinte West. And for them, if they have funds available, then they can access the 50% additional funds. For the city currently, Chris had mentioned the programs we do have. We do not have like any large number dollar value for planting trees. But we can look at, we do plant a lot of trees through our reconstruction projects and part of the restoration in that isn't included in those other programs. So I think maybe further discussions about how we could access funds from the program need to happen.
Thank you.
Councillor,
Quinte had explained.
oh, sorry, Councillor Quinte and then Councillor Card.
I was just going to suggest that make a motion to offer a letter of support to Lindsay and your request.
Second by Councillor McHugh. All in favor? Carried, thank you. Any other comments, Councillor Card?
Thank you, Your Worship. Happy to support for the letter also. Just thinking, I apologize if this number isn't readily available, but do we not also have a balance in a green or climate change fund that I believe has been pretty stationary for several years at this point, I think, with I don't believe there's been a draw on it this term, I don't think. So that's certainly something I think that we should look at, as there aren't really any other projects coming forward that kind of would fulfill the strategic purpose of that fund. So maybe staff can go ahead, Director Chase.
Yeah, through your worship, Director Denowden indicated there's approximately 400,000 in that fund. If council wishes, I think today, again, support is the first and foremost. And then if there are specific places where we choose to add tree canopy, then that money would be available to access.
Excellent, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Elliott.
Yes, thank you for your presentation, and I support your letter. Just my question is, down the road, when it does become cost sharing, I'll put it that way, that you say you project is going to be maybe a couple of 3 years down the road if this gets implemented. I'm just wondering how you will apportion it to each of the municipalities, because as you know, Lower Trent covers more of Quinte West than what Quinte Conservation does, and I know all your other municipalities will be. So is it going to be apportioned on their size, or what's going to be done in their specific, I guess, municipalities?
It's going to be a match. So if you have $4,000 to plant trees, we're going to match that and make that 8. So if this municipality has 4 and another municipality has 2, then it'll be 4 for them. And if another municipality has 10 grand, we're gonna double it to 20. So it'll be whatever cost share that is. Does that make sense?
I was just wondering, outside the boundaries of your area, are you just looking at doing the boundaries that you represent? I guess is the bottom line. I just wondered how that was going to work, or if your projections are for just inside your boundaries of what you govern as of right now. And I know down next year, the conservation authorities are going to have a big change in the sounds of things, because Mrs. Reed and I both sat on Lower Trenton, and there's a lot of question marks there. And as you know, you're going to be part of that change too, if it comes about. So.
Yeah, so I'm more than happy to partner with Lower Trent and some of our other neighboring municipalities to serve our, conservation authorities to serve our municipalities. As long as Lower Trent is good with it, we can have that discussion moving forward.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, anyway, Councillor,
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and you bring up an interesting point, Councillor Allier, because Lower Trent could also apply for the same grant, could they not, to apply for it and then come to the city as well? This is Quinte Conservation looking to partner. So I think that's really important that we all work together in both watersheds, if that's possible. And I agree with Councillor Card, there is a climate reserve that has substantial funds if we need them, because as he's indicated, this is what that fund was was put in place for, these kind of initiatives. So I thank you for taking the initiative and doing this grant and working with partners to double or value the money. Thank you, and the trees.
Yeah, thank you.
anyone else for questions or comments? Anything else to add? No, everybody good? Okay. All right, well, thank you very much. I just want you to know that Mark Cullen Gardens has been a big supporter of this city, and we've kept in constant consultation and contact with him, so that I would say we've been generously supported with trees at the right price.
I'll get his number.
Yeah, right, yeah. So, yes, and every year, unfortunately, we've lost a good many ash trees. And so because of that, we've tried to replant and tried to plant other varieties to keep our canopy where it should be. So thank you for all your support. And one of the ones that we're proud of is just on the north side of the 401 and west of the Glen Miller interchange. You may have seen that one. Good, okay. Anything else? Otherwise, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And you will have your letter. Okay, anything else for public input? I guess that's where I'm at. So. Pardon? Come on up.
I apologize for my outfit. I'm heading to work after this.
You're fine. You're fine.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mayor and members of Council. My name is Megan Bush. I'm a lifelong resident of Quinte West, living up at the northern boundary near Sterling. I'm speaking today to share my concerns about the proposed southern route for the Alto high-speed railway, which would potentially put the railway through the north part of Quinte West. While I generally support the principle of providing more public transit options in our province, I strongly believe that the current plan for this railway would bring far more harm than benefits to Quinte West and to the other rural municipalities it would run through. The entire length of the railway would be fenced in on both sides, and level crossings cannot be used. Alto has stated that major roadways would get an overpass or underpass to cross the railway, and that smaller roads would just get dead-ended or rerouted out to those major roads. They have stated that given the costs to build this infrastructure across the entire route, they hope to limit the number of crossings created. The railway would essentially become a wall across the entire municipality with only a few options to cross it. So what would this mean for residents of Quinte West? The response time of fire trucks, ambulances, and police could be greatly increased if they have to detour out to a road that crosses the tracks instead of being able just to drive straight to the scene. Due to the looming threat of expropriation for this project, real estate and other investments in the north part of Quinte West could stagnate for years. People wouldn't want to risk buying a house, building a house, or building a business in the corridor and risk the property getting expropriated in a few years. Alto claims that there would be, the benefits for the rural municipalities in the route is that there would be permanent jobs for local residents doing maintenance along the tracks. However, for comparison, CN Rail currently has 3,000 employees for their tracks across the entire country. So 3,000 employees for the maintenance of about 22,000 kilometers of track. So how many employees would Alto need just for their 1,000 kilometers of track. Many working farms will be lost, even if the train only cuts through the property. Farmers will not be able to cross their own property for daily farming operations. Anytime they need to drive their equipment to the other side for plowing, planting, irrigation, etc., they would have to drive out to a main road that has a bridge or overpass and then detour back down to the other side of their farm. The monetary and time costs to do so will not be sustainable and lead to farms shutting down. Should the other side of a farm not have road access, that parcel would become landlocked and that property also lost. Dead-ended roads would lead to longer times and therefore higher costs for snow plowing, roadside maintenance, garbage and recycling collection, and the delivery of other municipal services. During the years of construction, our roads would have to withstand heavy equipment, doing hundreds of trips back and forth, delivering tons upon tons of aggregates, cements, and other construction materials. So would the municipality be left to pay for the intensified wear and tear on roads and potentially to the infrastructure underneath? How would existing livelihoods in Quinte West be affected? Rural tourism here largely centers on hiking trails, snowmobiling and ATV trails, tours of farms, maple syrup bushes, and that kind of thing. People coming to Quinte West to do those activities also stop in our restaurants, stores, etc. Should the train cut through any of these recreational ventures, those opportunities would be lost, as would the wider economic benefit that tourists would otherwise bring, and the jobs that Quinte West residents currently have maintaining those kinds of ventures. I do have more concerns, but I will stop here. The railroad, as it's currently proposed, would download all of the burdens to the rural municipalities it runs through, with none of the benefits to help counter that burden. I am not opposed to progress or to new projects, but I am opposed to the harms that would directly result from the currently proposed plan for this train. Thank you for your time. In closing, I respectfully urge Council to consider the concerns being raised by myself and, from what I hear from my other residents of Quinte West, and to continue to seek direct information about the project from Alto. I would also even urge Council to consider formally opposing the proposed southern route, as 3 other municipalities in the southern route have done thus far. In the form that this route is currently being proposed, I genuinely believe that this project would end up being devastating for Quinte West. I love this area dearly. My ancestors arrived in River Valley in the early 1790s, making me the 8th generation to live here, and I intend to stay here for the rest of my life. I sincerely hope that Council will consider my and other residents' fears about what this project would do to our community. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Before I leave this, CAO Angelo, you have any comments at this time?
Thank you, Your Worship. And I guess very quickly, coincidentally, we had a meeting with Alto yesterday. Some city staff and His Worship attended the meeting, and we got some more information now, and I've been invited to attend some roundtable discussions in this month and next month to gain some further information. I'd be happy to share some of that information that we got from them yesterday, going forward. So there are some concerns that we as staff have, and I think His Worship shares the same concerns that I'm going to bring to the roundtable discussions, and then I'll bring that information back to Council at a further date.
Just before we leave you, what residents of Quinte West will ride that train?
Your Worship, I don't think I can answer that question at this point in time. What I do know is that the federal government put out this request for proposals a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, looking at 7 stops between Toronto and Montreal and all the way to Quebec. The main priority, phase 1, is from Ottawa easterly to Quebec. Phase 2 will be this other loop between Ottawa and Toronto. Unfortunately, they're looking at 2 sections in this sort of immediate area, one in the northern section north of Madoc, in that route, and then one in the southern section, which has some significant features, wetland features, as Mr. Bush mentioned, as well as, the transition around Oak Lake and our roadways. So those are some concerns that I need to bring to the round table, have further discussions with Alto and the group, and see where that transpires, and then bring that information back to council for a fulsome report.
Thank you. So you understand we share your concerns? Thank you. And really, nobody for me to get on a train, I have to go to Peterborough, Oshawa, or Ottawa. So I'm able to drive to where I'm going, then anyways. Councillor Sharp.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you for coming. And we have been receiving correspondence, and I really appreciate that what CAO Angelo has indicated, because nothing from Alto, that, to my knowledge, has come to this council. And I know there's just a tight timeline on public consultation. I'm glad that Mr. Angelo, the mayor, will represent us, and I look forward to that information, because North Sydney will be affected by what I'm seeing and hearing. And so, and for all of Quinte West, there's an impact. So I'm glad to hear from you and others, because you're providing that consultation to Alto, I assume, as well.
Yes, very much.
And that's what we need to do. And I look forward to a timely report on this, because I feel I don't have all the facts. And people are going to meetings, public meetings in March, right down the road in Sterling, and another one, and don't have any information. So we will get the information, as the mayor, Mr. Angelo, says, but I'm concerned. Thank you.
Yeah. Don't count on getting all the information, because they don't have it. That's the problem, but,
Let's get what we
yeah. Anything else, CEO? Anything else?
I can, just one further comment, and Alto apologized a couple of times yesterday when we met with them that they had one of a few municipalities they failed to reach out to have this in earlier discussions. So when we met yesterday, they shared some information. No definitive route has been picked yet. No definitive decisions have been made at this point in time. They're looking for public feedback. They're looking for concerns from residents. They're looking for any concerns or feedback from the municipality. Like I said, I've been invited now to the roundtable discussions that are happening next week and the week after. And I'll get some more information. I'll bring this back to the council for further direction.
Thank you. Councillor O'Neill.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thanks for your input. I agree with you 100%. At the Roma conference, I spoke to someone from Alto, and I told them it was about as well thought out as a tunnel under the 401. I also talked to our MP, said I'm against it. If they really want to promote rail travel, I believe there's room for a third track on the lines already here. So why don't they extend that and make it for all the people and not for just a select few? I thank you for your input.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Reid.
Thank you, Megan, for your very insightful information. It's wonderful. I would like to propose that we send a letter of support opposing the proposed track that they have by our council. It's invasive, and Councillor O'Neill has got an excellent suggestion. And I just think that if we show that we are supporting the people in North Sydney, that it would, everything little bit will count. So could we have a letter of support sent to the, to oppose this proposed southern route as the other municipalities have done?
I'll second it.
Okay. Any other comments, CEO?
Your Worship, certainly that's council's prerogative. You may want to wait for further information from me, but if you're certainly wanting to support that and oppose the southern route, then that's certainly your prerogative to do that.
My concern right now is that they haven't established a route, and that's my concern. I'm not saying we want to support any route, but we don't want to make our support for the wrong one and have to backtrack. But right now, I don't see any of our citizens, any residents of Quinte West riding that train. But that's me. So we can do that. We can certainly send a letter indicating our concerns and not supporting it. Councillor Stedel.
I would agree, actually, with what you just said before sending the letter, with the part where about it is too soon. I think it's far too soon. I don't think we have enough information. I certainly wouldn't support the resolution at this time because I do not believe that it's etched in stone where it's going to be. There is a lot of information. I also was at conferences and had conversations with Alto, and they are flexible and willing to listen. So I think before we start getting on, saying that we're opposed to something, let's wait and see exactly what the full picture is. Let the CAO bring back information from us, go to the round table, and then once we see a little bit something more that's etched in stone, then we would deal with it at that point in time. But I'm not prepared to vote in favor of the motion at this point.
Okay, I'll go to Councillor Quinte.
Just quick, Mr. Mayor. So there are public consultations in case people listening today haven't heard anything about this. So March 25th at the Sterling District Lions Club at 435 West Front Street. That's March 25th in Sterling. Alto will be holding a public consultation, and the hours are from 11 o'clock till 3 o'clock, and again from 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock. And there's another one at an earlier date, but it's in Madoc on March the 5th. I don't have the times for that, but it's at the Madoc Township Recreation Center, and everybody is welcome to attend. It's not a formal process. It's a process where you go there, and there will be some information and maps of what is being proposed or discussed, and you'll be able to ask questions. Thanks.
And we'll get that on our website. We'll put that on the website, so
Yeah,
people
great
will
idea.
see it.
Yep.
Councillor O'Neill.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As far as I'm concerned, the whole concept is a flawed idea. I don't care where it's supposed to go. I don't think it's feasible, and there's a better alternative as far as I'm concerned.
Well, they did talk about the track. It's okay. Couldn't CEO Angelo bring us back some more information. Anything this way? Okay, Councillor Katsoulis.
Thank you. Agree with the comments and concerns of my fellow councillors, and I'm happy to support Councillor Reid's motion in future meetings. Should we leave it for a little bit, because as mentioned, CEO Angelo will have a less productive meeting with Alto should we already draw a line in the sand and state our position up front. So let's see how some of the meetings go, and future, a month from now or whenever that is, that we support Councillor Reid's motion.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Card.
Thank you, Your Worship. Through you to CEO Angelo, was the intent from Alto that the municipal input be communicated through these roundtable discussions, or are they seeking a formal opinion from the municipality by a certain date, or how was that supposed to work?
Through Your Worship, right now they're looking for public input on their interactive map that they have, so you can actually put a pin to where you live or your concerns and post that online. They're looking at all of this. So they have a bunch of criteria that they're going to be looking at to determine where the route should be. And until they get all the public input and all the public engagement through this process, they're really not making any decisions at all. There's a number of factors that go into making their decision. What I've asked for and what they've agreed to is allow me to be part of that roundtable discussion to share the concerns of council and our residents and bring that forward. And then we'll see what happens from there.
If I may, I share the concerns that other councillors have mentioned. I guess my only concern also with waiting is as long as we are able to weigh in on this as a council while there's still consultation happening, right? I think the worst case is that if we punt this today and then, 6 weeks or 2 months go by and some period of consultation is closed and then we send the letter, that's useless at that point. So as long as I trust that you will keep council updated on this and we can say our piece when more details come out while the consultation still matters and is relevant.
We will definitely. CEO Angelo, do you want to give council at this point in time projected date of completion and what's the cost?
Through your worship, I guess what they told us is phase 1, which is Ottawa to Quebec, could start as early as 2030, I believe. And the other second phase could be parallel at some point in time when they start or stop or finish certain phases. They're projecting anywhere between $60 and $90 billion in cost at this point in time.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much, and we'll keep working on this, and we'll try to keep people informed as to what's happening to the best of our ability. And we're like mushrooms. They keep us in the dark as long as they can and as much as they can. So that's the way I felt, but that's maybe just me. But they did listen, and I have a farm. Yes, I do, and I won't be impacted, but there will be many farms that will be impacted by this project.
Yes.
And part of the farm will be on the north end of the line, and part will be on the south end. And then, they said they would negotiate with farmers and possibly relocate the line. With some farmland, you can do that, but very few will you be able to change the direction or the location of the line because farmland is going to be impacted. It just isn't possible. But anyways, those are some of the things we have expressed our concerns at this time, but we will keep doing. And at this time, it's a project that somebody else has come up with, not us, but I guess we do need high-speed rail. That's what they're telling us, and stay off the track if it goes through. I think that's the bottom. Anyway, thank you very much. Appreciate you coming and keeping up to date, and don't give up.
Thank you. Okay, and everything I read here, I've submitted in written format as well, and I look forward to hearing further information that council receives. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Councillor McHugh.
Just a point of clarification, do we have a motion on the floor to vote on or not?
I thought we voted on it, did we? Okay.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, we do have a motion on the floor.
Okay.
I can withdraw that after careful consideration and discussion with us. We don't want to go in with our arms up and saying, no, we don't want to work with you. We want to go in so that they know we want to work with you and come up with the best possible process for this Alto to go through. So I will withdraw that.
Well, just give me a second here. Do we want that withdrawn, or do we want to keep that in our back pocket in case we need to use it more quickly than we anticipate? I guess that's my thought. I just want to make sure we don't throw ammunition away or throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Mr. Mayor, through to Councillor Reid on her motion, maybe I could suggest that we want to, at this time, express our concerns, express our willingness for, up-to-date and discussions in the best interest of our city, instead of saying no right away. But I think it's important that we let them know we want to be consulted on a regular basis, and we have some concerns. Like, I don't think we should pull it all right away.
Okay, I think we're going to be consulted. I've got confidence in that. But I just want the CEO to have the ammunition he needs at the time he may need it, that's all. So I think we could pass a motion, and you would understand when, CEO Angelo, when you go there, that, you've got a motion indicating council's position. Okay.
Yeah, Your Worship, I just conferred with our city clerk, and he said the same thing. So if council were to endorse the motion, then I could present that at some point in time when I believe that they're not listening to our concerns or addressing them. I could bring that motion forward so that I don't have to bring it back to council for that if time is of the essence then, depending on when the timeline ends for public consultation.
Okay.
I would be fine with that. That's great.
Councillor McHugh.
Yeah, I have a problem with that. We're live here. We're dealing with the public. We passed a motion right now. The entire world knows we just passed a motion. We do not want this rail line. So how do we ask the CEO to go in and negotiate in good faith when he already knows that they already know the answer? So why would they even give him the time of day? I guess is what I'm saying.
I know.
So I think we just convey here to the CAO, do the absolute best you can, and get back to it. If you think this is going, pardon the pun, off the rails, get back to us ASAP.
All right, okay, I'm fine either way. We can handle it. I just don't want to see us not get our opinion and ideas out there. That's the bottom line. Councillor Stead.
I think, as Councillor Quinte indicated, there's a public consultation till the end of March. We've got at least 4 council meetings between now and when they're going to close the public consultation. So we do have lots of time. There's no rush, and we don't have proper information to make a resolution at this point. So I think we will have more information, and then once we get that, then we can talk about what the resolution should be.
Okay. You've got faith in the process.
Faith in our staff, yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Councillor Card.
Thank you, Roger. I was just going to say, I believe Seo Angelo's received enough input from council that he would feel comfortable with communicating certainly deep concerns amongst the council about the proposed southern route at this point. I think that should suffice for now, at least.
Okay. All right. You're good? Okay. So do we need,
Nothing.
we're good? Okay. All right.
Want to go back to the public meeting?
Okay. We'll accept Councillor Reid's withdrawal at this time. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. Back to the public meeting. Anything else on? So the public meeting, that surplus land, Part 1 concession northwest of North Murray Street Township of Sydney, now in the city of Quinte West, County of Hastings, and so there's no. I guess you'd say no resolution tonight that we were going to sell or do anything with. We're just declaring this surplus. That's it. So I need a motion to do that. That's what I need. Councillor Quincy moves, seconded. I need a seconder.
No, sorry, Mr. Mayor, you don't even need a motion. We'll bring a bylaw at the following meeting.
Okay.
It's just if there's anyone here from the public that would like to speak to the matter, now would be the time to do it.
Okay.
We did receive a piece of correspondence from Connect Quinte, which was distributed to
Yes.
you all today.
Yes. Okay, come on up. You want to, we'll listen. Thank you.
So my name is Adam Veenstra. I'm a resident here in Trenton on South Charles Street, which is right around the corner from the site of George Street Village, which is currently underway. I'm also the current president of the Connect Quinte Affordable Housing Corporation, which you have heard from today. On behalf of Connect, we would just like to thank council and city staff for their ongoing support of affordable housing in our community and the commitment to Quinte West Housing First strategy. And so in light of these commitments, Connect is suggesting that these surplus lands in the industrial park follow that model set by the site of the College Street School, which was earmarked for affordable housing as a means to best support the residents of our community. So we suggest, as you will have read in our communication, that an RFP be issued for these lands so that potential developers can communicate to the city how they best plan to serve our neighbors with the use of this property, and so that council can continue its commitment to that housing first strategy as well. As you know, there remains an incredible need for affordable housing in our community, and we anticipate that council will continue its commitment and enthusiasm that we have seen modeled by the process of transforming the College Street site to the future site of George Street Village. So we just wanted to come and share that with you today. We appreciate your willingness to listen, and we anticipate any further conversation to come forward. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and keep up the good work, because there isn't anything that's easy.
We'll do our best. We look forward to working together.
I'm sure you know it, yes. Sure you do. Anything else under public input? Anyone? Sorry. Come on
Public
up.
input for this particular matter.
Pardon?
For the
Oh,
public meeting.
I'm sorry, yes.
So I think this gentleman would like to speak to something under public input for a different matter.
Okay, anything else under the surplus land? Councillor Sharp.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. And if I could to Director Jardine, and I know it's not etched in stone or anything, but I do think that this may be a property we would look to be doing, potentially doing an RFP or that kind of planning ahead. I don't know if that is something you could speak to or not right now, Director Jardine. It just, when the gentleman came and talked about Quinte Connect and how we did do the other property, and I think there was maybe some discussion when we're declaring this surplus that may be a potential site for an RFP. So if I could, through to Director Jardine, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, through Mr. Mayor. So following this public meeting, the next step would be a staff report coming back to council that would give council its various options in terms of the means by which council dispose of the land and the timing of that. One option could be as promoted in the received letter, but there's other options as well. So that would be the next step.
Okay. Anyone else? Anything else on this one? Okay, pardon?
Do you have to declare it closed?
I guess so, yeah. Okay, declare the meeting closed and we'll keep going, okay.
Public input down here, John.
Anything else under public input? Anything else? Come on up, please.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor and Council. Thank you for seeing me. I am John Kuipers, and while we're on the subject of housing, I'd like to put forward a presentation here. There's a fact sheet that has been handed out that each one of you should have here regarding what I'm talking about here today. So like I said, my name is John Kuipers. I am the builder-developer of a project on 467 Front Street here in Trenton. I have worked closely with the city during the years of 23 and 24 to approve a 20-unit stacked townhouse condominium project. The project has always represented a shared vision between our team and the city for high-quality infill development. But now we face a problem that is a reason for my appearance today. A significant hurdle we've encountered is the city's current tax structure. Since receiving development approvals, our property taxes have increased 600% while generating zero income. Currently, there is no middle ground tax category for a land that is approved but not yet built. We are effectively being charged at a developed rate while the land remains vacant and produces zero income. This creates a massive financial drain for construction before a construction event begins, further exhausting the capital needed to break ground. Furthermore, we are now facing a March 26, 2026 deadline in our development charge freeze, a window that is closing just as the market remains at its most challenging since 23. The project is a win for Quinte West. It requires no material infrastructure upgrades or increases to existing services. We are building on existing capacity. Once complete, we will contribute approximately $70,000 to $80,000 in annual property tax revenue to the city in perpetuity. We want to provide this easy revenue, but the current DC structure is a big hindrance to bringing this project to reality. The provincial government introduced Bill 17 to protect Ontario by Building Faster and Smarter Act in 2025, specifically to address these bottlenecks. So, in the spirit of Bill 17, I'm asking Council to extend our DC freeze window to 48 months. And two, consistent with the goals of Bill 17, that we propose that the development charges be payable upon occupancy, and crucially, with no interest charges between the time of building permit and that occupancy date. This allows us to use our capital for the construction rather than carrying costs. Please note, this is not a request for a subsidy. It is a request for a timeline that reflects the reality of building in 2026. Let me be clear about the stakes. If this freeze is not extended, the cost of this project will spike by $212,000 overnight. In today's market, this isn't just a budget adjustment. It's a potentially project-ending figure. If this extension is denied, 467 Front Street risks becoming a dormant site that drains resources rather than provides 20 homes and up to $80,000 in annual tax revenue. I'm asking you to protect the investment we have both made on this property. Let's choose the path that gets shovels in the ground and families into homes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We've got John, any questions that you want to ask at this time, I guess? Go ahead.
And thanks for coming out tonight. I didn't realize you were facing this giant wall in front of you. If we allow this, are you anticipating that you would be able to start your construction this year? Or you got other hurdles to get over?
Well, there are many hurdles when it comes to real estate investing, and the real estate market is extremely challenging right now, especially in Ontario, as Ontario is actually the worst performing province in the country in terms of housing starts right now, and we're normally the leader. Particularly in the face of condo construction, which is the way that this property was originally designed. I am contemplating switching it to a project that would, a purpose-built rental project, which would be more favorable and still provide the revenue to the city and also housing to families. But as an investment of time and money that we've put into it, I have to pivot when I can and where I need to in order to realize the investment that we've put into it. So we're asking council for this because this does represent a huge and significant anchor to what could be a really good and profitable project.
No, I support this this project and voted in support of going ahead with this from the planning committee. And a structure like you're proposing is going to take you roughly 2 years to get it completed from the once you actually get started, correct?
Correct.
Just because of the size and the work that has to be done. So you're asking for the 48 months because you're not ready to actually start building yet, but obviously you anticipate that to happen shortly. Like maybe at the end of this year, you'll have a much better idea as to when you can get started.
Yeah, it's impossible to tell what the future
Correct.
market is going to be like, but I'm trying to do whatever possible to make the project viable. And by doing so, I can't do anything more than what I'm trying to do right now. So I can't answer you when it will start. I can say that Bill 17, when it was proposed with a 36 to 48 months extension on the DC freezes, and it remained at the 18-month once it passed. And that 18-month period does come up in the end of March for me. And that's why I'm here now.
Okay, thank you.
Councillor O'Neill?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think I'm a little confused on some of these statements. Could Director Jarlene comment on the accuracy of some of these statements?
Through Mr. Mayor, which statements particularly?
Particularly the 6 times property tax increase. It's my understanding that until something's built, it's taxed as vacant land.
I would have to defer that to Director Dowden. Thank you.
Well, I can tell you that I have had several meetings with people here at Quinte West and to ask why that had happened. Part of the approval process required a rezoning of the property from the vacant land that it was to a multi-unit residential property, which it is now currently zoned to accommodate the building that we're proposing. The tax bill came in and it was 600% higher than what we were paying. And so we asked for relief in that department because there was no building built. And we've been told that there's nothing that can be done from the city to give us relief. So that's where we stand. There's currently no category for land that is approved but not yet developed.
So basically you change from like a residential zoning to a different classification. So, but 600%, what are you talking about, $1,000 to $6,000? Or
talking
what?
about $1,500 to $9,000.
Okay, thank you.
Director Dowden?
Yeah, just to clarify on the tax rates and the assessment, as you know, MPAC does our assessments and classifications. So MPAC does change the assessment and classification when there's a change to a site. In this case, what went through planning committee, the site plan the zoning changes triggered MPAC to change the assessment and class. There's classes for residential, multi-residential, industrial, commercial. And so if in any of those classes, even if it's a vacant land in those classes, that rate applies. And as you know, when we set our tax rates, we have a different rate for those 4 classes. So in this situation, it went from residential to multi-residential, meaning that there is a higher rate applied to this property. So all 3 things have changed: the classification, the assessment done by MPAC, and then the rate, which is based on the classification that MPAC sets.
Okay. Anyone else? Any other comments or questions? So, we're at the point where when we look at what Mr. Kuipers has presented to us, we're not looking good. And it looks like, death by taxes, or whatever way you want to put it. And I'm asking, and I know the answer, but I'm still asking again, is there anything that we can do as a city? Anything that we can do? And I think we have to remember, unfortunately, that if we do something with Mr. Kuiper's taxes, then how many other people are going to be here tomorrow? But anyway, I'm asking, any comments or anything else that you're suggesting? Is there anything we can do that would make this feasible? And we want the housing, we want it built. That piece of land was sold for housing and development, and that was the intent, our intent, so.
Your Worship, in discussions with Mr. Denau, if council wants to ask staff to bring back a report to the next council meeting with any sort of options that we could consider. One of the things, the challenges we're going to have is whether council has the ability to change the DC Act or the DC bylaw to allow an extension of the charges. I don't know if we have the legal authority to do that. We'd have to consult a lawyer to do that, but we need some time to do that. So if you wanted to give staff direction to bring back a report to the March 4th council meeting, we'll get some answers and go from there.
Okay. Thank you. Councillor McHugh moves, Councillor Sharp seconds.
No, I don't actually.
Okay.
No, I just
Okay.
want to, sorry, Mr. Mayor, I just want to speak to this. I mean, we went through, and, I know this is very challenging, but these are the issues we went through with the development charges and all the stuff we worked on, and what can happen, as we all know, when we change the guidelines or whatever midstream. We've had to make some very difficult decisions, and I'm hesitant to start opening this up again. So I don't mind a staff report, and if there is anything, but I don't want to revisit the development charges. That is my point. Thank you.
Thank you. So we got a motion on the table.
Yeah,
Right.
and all I'm asking for is a staff report to come back. We'll make a decision at that time. Yeah, that's all.
Okay. That's what's on the table. Anything else? Councillor O'Neill?
I'll second it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. All in favor? Carried, thank you. Okay, we'll get a report, John, and before you leave us, how long have you been at this?
I bought the property
Not just this piece of property, I'm sorry, I mean in terms of the developer-builder aspect.
I've been building houses since 1985, in the construction industry since before that. Got my Ontario New Home Warranty Program certificate for being a qualified new home builder in 1987, and have built a couple hundred houses in the neighborhood, and including in town and out of town, mostly rural, mostly custom, and have had a history of working with the city on a number of different projects along the years, and have enjoyed the relationship that we've had. And when something like this comes up, and I realized and knew that intensification, urban development, infill density are all buzzwords and things that the province is looking for in terms of new home development, then I try to work with the city and with, within the boundaries of the law that are here, to provide not only housing, but economic fortune for, and jobs for people that are going to be building on. As Councillor Kuhn said, it's a 2-year project. It's millions of dollars of construction costs and a lot of risk. I'm telling you, there's hundreds of thousands of dollars already into this project right now. And risking the fact that there would be the additional $212,000 in DC charges overnight, to me, it doesn't make sense. I'm a straightforward guy. If they're going to give, if you are agreeable to an 18-month development charge freeze, then under the current conditions that we are subject to in the real estate market and the new home construction that is not happening right now because of the market, I don't think that asking for an extension on these DC charges is outrageous. I'm not trying to come here with an outrageous ask. This is a partnership between me and the city. Beneficial to me, beneficial to the city in property taxes for years going forward.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else for public input? Anyone else? Anything else? Public input? No? Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Delegations, resolution, the next one, I need a mover and a seconder. Staff report, Josh Mashinsky, Director of Corporate Services, Clerk, regarding election sign bylaw be received, and that the draft election sign bylaw attached as Appendix A be approved, and that the draft election sign bylaw be placed on the March 4th, 2026 regular council meeting agenda for adoption, and that staff be directed to amend the fees and charges bylaw to include a $250 election sign permit fee. I need a mover and a seconder for this one. Moved by,
I would ask that it be deferred, that this item be deferred, and I can explain why I'm asking for that. The election, the report is very well written by staff, and I appreciate the information that's come forward. However, we haven't really had a chance to discuss all of the different items that are in here, and in particular, the fee for $250 for a new candidate that's coming in to decide they want to throw their name into the hat for election purposes, I think is a bit of a hindrance. It doesn't seem like a lot, but for municipal councillors and for the mayor's position, there are caps on how much money can be spent. And with that, there shouldn't have to be off the top of it money that's taken by an expense by the city in order for our candidates to be able to put up signs.
okay.
So I'd like to have a little bit more information coming back from the clerk on this, not this, a little bit
Okay.
more expansion on the whole
Okay, you've
issue.
asked for deferral. The only thing I would suggest, and I accept at this time, is that you will send an email to the clerk indicating what information is not in the report that you'd like to get more of.
Sure, of course. And I would suggest that the rest of council should also ask those questions as well,
okay,
because
but
there's a number of things. There's
I'm
a
just dealing with
100-meter
the-
allowance between signs,
I'm
there's
just
a
dealing with the
$5,000.
deferral. And the deferral, we aren't discussing the deferral. We're dealing with it, and that's what I have to do. All in favor of the deferral? That's what I need to know.
Need a
Two.
seconder, Mr. Mayor, sorry.
I thought I did have, no?
Dave will second it.
Council O'Neill seconds it, okay? You're good, yeah, Mr. Clerk? Okay, so all in favor, that's what I need to know. 1, 2, 3. Carried, thank you, okay. All right. All right, next is The next one is 2026-00023, Legislative Services Coordinator regarding Economic Development, Tourism, and Special Events Advisory Committee. Matters for council consideration and approval be received. Move in a seconder for this one. What I need. Councillor Boyce, Councillor Allier, any comments or questions? All in favor? Thank you, carried. Okay, and the next one is staff report by Shannon Miller, Tourism Coordinator, and Jennifer Rushlow, Tourism Development Officer, regarding the 2020 Quinte West pop-ups proposal fee increase be received, and further that the 2026 Quinte West pop-ups proposed fee increase be approved. And, okay, that's the one I need. Councillor McHugh moves, seconded by Councillor Boyce. Comments or questions? All in favor? Carried. Thank you very much. That's good. Staff, next one is matters for council consideration and approval be received. That's the one with Sarah Pond, Services Coordinator, Heritage Advisory Committee. Move in the seconder for this one, please. What I need. Councillor Reid, Councillor McHugh. Comments or questions?
Councillor McHugh has his hand up first.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wish that, for Director McChesney to clarify, there's different ones on here, and I'm concerned with the one that's the Wooler School. They received we received a phone call, Councillor Ed, he was concerned. It appears that one motion appears to run into the other. All we're doing is approving what we see here, what was recommended by the committee at the time, by the Heritage Committee, and it's ambiguous what I'm trying to read here, because it also it offers two things here. It says the environmental structure to be parts to be donated if they don't want them, or councillors receive the motions directed. And I know that Director McChesney explained it to me earlier, but the second recommendation on here, that wording pertains to 43 Queen Street, if I remember correctly. It is not part of the first motion. So as long as the school gets passed, they're looking after their stuff. They were all concerned they're not going to have anything left over. Anything they take off the building that's not used again will be put inside and stored. That's what they're doing, restoring an historical building. They want to keep everything. If they should have anything they want to get rid of, to go through the proper channels to get rid of it, but they don't want to be bound by it, I guess is what I'm saying. So I just want to clarify that those two recommendations do not pertain to the Wooler School. Only the first recommendation pertains, and I would so move that it be accepted as written.
Okay, I need a seconder. Councillor Elliott. Okay, comments or questions? All in favor? Carried, thank you. Okay. The next one is.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor. It's still on the same report. So
Right.
there was two items that came forward from the Heritage Committee. The first one I think you've dealt with, which was the approval of the plan for potential amendments to the old Wooler Schoolhouse. The second one pertains to the property on Queen Street. Now, there's two options for recommendations there. The motion from the committee was for staff to work with the property owner to potentially salvage any heritage features from that site. The site was a site of a bad fire, as most of you probably know. It's under a demolition order right now. Mostly it's rubble. But that was the motion of the committee, that the staff work with the property owner to see if there's any salvageable artefacts or features from the building, and to transport them to the Trentport Historical Society. Staff are recommending against that, so there's a second recommendation, that simply the motion be received but no action taken. As I say, the site is kind of under a demolition order. It's an unsafe site. The building was not designated as a heritage structure, so there's no obligation or mandate for the city to protect them, and there is no viable site that we know of for any salvaged items to be taken to be retained. So I think if council could perhaps give direction on those two options on that second
So
recommendation.
then, really, the option is that we receive the motion but direct staff to no further action?
Correct, that would be the recommendation of staff, thank you.
Okay, moved by Counselor McHugh. I need a seconder for
I'll
this.
second that.
Counselor Quinte. Comments or questions? All in favor? Carried, thank you. Finance, by Caleb, Director of Finance, City Treasurer regarding PI investment results, fourth quarter be received. Need a move and a seconder for this one, please? Counselor Sharp and Counselor Card. Any comments or questions? Anyone? Anyone? Counselor Quinte.
Just, I guess, a request to staff. I know we have our investment program that we have passed on numerous occasions, and just looking to staff to see, like, we don't have to put our money to this investment portfolio. We can use other avenues to protect our funds. And I'm just wondering if we should, because of the market conditions and situations that are out of our control, I'm just wondering if we should put the brakes on our investment portfolio as far as this investment program with the one company, and just use GICs for a period of time while we wait for things to calm out. And just looking to staff to see if they have any recommendations, or are they already taking such action?
Well, Director Denouden, one of you, Matt,
Yeah,
or you?
through Mayor, yeah, I don't advise our fund manager on our investment portfolio. We leave that to the professionals. If the market does look risky, they know that the risk portfolio on city funds is I guess lower or medium. They don't highly leverage the municipality. If they see market conditions different, they have the authority to move funds. We simply provide long-term funds to this group to manage on our behalf. And I would advise against, I guess, changing our investment policy and putting those long-term funds in the treasurer's hands to simply and only invest in GICs. It would be very limited. Our returns would be limited. And so I would say we continue on with our investment policy as we have approved and continue to use this group and their professionalism to invest in the appropriate products.
Thank you.
Do we have any, I guess, in our investment portfolio for the year 2026, are we looking to provide more funds to the Investment One company?
Through your worship, we just reported back to them on our cash flow projections. We do that once a year. We call it our MRI, money not required immediately. And we decided for the next year we'll hold the funds we've provided to them. And that again is based on a cash flow analysis of what we have in what we project to have in our bank, based on all the capital projects we've approved, when we see those funds projected to leave the bank account, and when tax money comes in. So there is no additional contributions or deductions from that investment account planned for 2026.
Thank you.
Councillor Card.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just through you to Director Denouden, just to Councillor Quince's point, it is known as the prudent investor fund and very heavily weighted to fixed income with very low equity exposure. I think about 20-25%, even low volatility equity funds. So though you're not making the decisions, is it fair to say that this is how they have allocated it? Very prudent, very low volatility, and built to withstand different market conditions.
Yeah, Your Worship, that's exactly it. There's a board, there's several professional investment managers. I think if you left it up to me, I might be a bit higher risk on these investments, put a bit more into equities. But this is exactly why we have that separation of duties. We have a professional board that takes a lot into account, so that you're not leaving, the whim of my decision as to how much of the money is going to equities or not. And they're a very prudent group, and putting it into safe investments, but also trying to maximize returns.
What's interesting, I actually think they're other in the less prudent, maybe the higher risk. They would be looking to during times of volatility move into this fund actually. So I think we're already very well situated for volatility or down markets with a lot of fixed income here.
Councillor O'Neill.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I agree with the treasurer on this, that we should leave it in there. We do, however, provide direction if we require any short-term funds that they are aware of it, correct?
Yeah, through worship. That's that annual report that I fill out to explain our cash situation, when we project needing that cash, and they're always aware that things do happen to municipalities quite quickly, decisions are changed, capital projects come up, and so, yeah, there are ways to get our money out quickly if needed.
Thank you. Okay, do we need a vote, or you're good?
Just need to receive.
Yeah, through you, Mr. Mayor, just to receive the report.
Just, okay, I need a motion to receive, I guess that's basically what we need.
Yeah, we have a mover and a seconder already.
Okay, all in favor of receiving? Thank you, okay. Then the next one is Matt Hodge regarding development charges, farm and coverall building exemptions be received, and that farm and coverall building exemptions be approved. So I need a mover, Councillor McHugh, Councillor Stedall.
No, I'm not seconding it.
Okay,
I'd like to
moved
make
by
an
Councillor
amendment
McHugh.
to
We
it.
need a seconder. Councillor Allier, okay. Questions or comments? Councillor Stedall.
Thank you, Worship. I'd like to, it indicates that the exemption would be for all buildings, farm and coverall buildings, and that would be, and I have no issue at all, and I think I'd like to amend it if, or at least consider for amendment, is that it just be, the exemption be approved for the agricultural coveralls and T buildings, but that staff bring back a report regarding the commercial and the industrial exemptions, because I think that's a lot of money that we're leaving at the table if we do the exemptions for the commercial and industrial, and I think we need a little bit more information before we go ahead and carte blanche. I always thought that we already had an exemption for the agricultural coveralls and for the T-bill, or at least the coveralls, but to just do a carte blanche exemption for development charges, I think this opens things up, so that's why I'm asking for a staff report on that second half. Have the approval for the agricultural, but a staff report for the commercial and the industrial exemptions.
Any comments from staff on that one? Okay.
Matt?
Oh, through you, Mayor, yes. We can separate these into two different items. The Agricultural Committee brought forward the ag building, the bona fide farm building exemption, and it was brought forward differently for the non-farm, non-res coverall T-shed building, so yes.
Okay.
So with that, could we make an amendment to the resolution to have the exemption for the egg and then bring a staff report back for?
I'm just, Matt, did you say that correctly, that the Ag Committee brought this forward?
Yep.
Correct?
Yep.
And what did they specifically ask for?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, they asked for a report, this report on the agriculture buildings.
Okay.
Be exempt, bona fide farm buildings, and the coveralls is a separate.
Just farm buildings.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, all right. So then, you want to, what would you, I guess we got to vote on that, don't we? Or
So, or I'm asking the mover and the seconder to amend the resolution to make it clear that it is, the exemption would be for farm and coverall building exemptions only for farm properties, and that staff bring back a report with regards to exemptions for development charges on commercial and industrial properties.
Okay, I'm having a little bit of difficulty here because how are you going to police this? How are you going to police it? That's my question. In other words, okay, so I build a new building. I put up a coverall building, 80 by 100. And I say it's agriculture and I put hay in it. You come out and inspect it. The week after, I take the hay out. How are you, what are you going to do? How are you going to handle this? That's my question. That's where I'm coming from.
So could we ask for a report back on all of it and not approve the agricultural then at this point in time?
Well,
If there's more questions on the agriculture, I didn't think there was a problem with the agricultural exemption for the coveralls.
I don't know of any, but the coverall building itself is a very cheap building. You're not giving up much in terms of the cost, that's for sure. In fact, I don't even.
Brian, Mr. Jardine has got his hand up.
Brian Jardine, Director Jardine.
Thank you to you, Mr. Mayor. Just to clarify the piece that came from the Agriculture Advisory Committee. So the request there was for an exemption for all ancillary buildings as part of a farm operation. So not including the dwelling, but any farm building. So that not just coveralls, that could be a barn, it could be a storage shed, etc. As far as to the Mayor's question as to how we would differentiate, they're differentiated differently under the building code, so we would be able to check at the building code stage. It wouldn't just apply to prime agricultural lands, it could apply to farm operations, bona fide farm operations on a rural property, but we would be able to check through the building permit. So I think it is possible to separate off the agricultural buildings as part of a council decision from the other question, which is back to that question I think we started with, which is the cover-all and storage buildings for commercial and industrial properties. So
Okay.
I think we could deal with it two separate things.
Well, I'm fine. Okay. All right. Okay. Any other comments or questions? Okay, can we vote on that, or we gotta, I guess that's my point.
If Councillor McEwen and Councillor Ellier would like to entertain Councillor Stettall's
Motion.
amendment, then we can vote on that. If not, then we can vote on the original motion.
Okay.
Well, I think the intent, as Director Jardine has said when we brought it forward at the Agricultural Committee, pertained basically to farm buildings. There was no mention of commercial or anything over and above that, and that's the intent, I believe, of the motion that's presented in my mind. So if you want to review, I guess, the commercial part or the commercial usage of coveralls, which you do building, I know the airport has several of them down there, so, and other commercial operators use them too, but I believe Mr. Jardine is right. When you take out the building permit and our building inspectors go around, it's the same as any other building. It qualifies or doesn't qualify, so I don't know whether you want a separate report from that or not. So, I guess, Mr. CEO, you want to comment on that, please?
Yes, thank you, Your Worship. So as I see it, there's really two things that council are being asked to vote on tonight. One is, are you willing to support agricultural farm buildings being exempt from development charges? I think that's the first part. The second part is, based on council's direction to staff last fall, was bring back another report on exemptions for coveralls and T-sheds for industrial commercial properties. And what we've done is lump this all together in one motion for council to consider. Noting that there are some concerns around the council table, I think it's prudent that you separate the two, vote on the one for the farm agricultural DC exemption, and then secondly, if you're not comfortable with the commercial industrial exemption for coveralls and development and T-sheds, direct staff to bring back additional information. And I would suggest probably some of that would need to come back to council in closed session, because there were some commitments made and some suggestions made regarding coveralls and that when we had some negotiations last fall. So we can certainly bring that information back to all of you.
Okay, so the first vote on the exemption for the farm.
So this would mean that what I was proposing was that the mover and the seconder do make an amendment in order to break the two of them down. So we're asking for the approval for the agricultural exemptions on the DCs, and then the second part is the staff report on the.
No, I agree with that, but the main vote's going to separate the agricultural from the other.
Can we put it all in one motion?
No,
No.
two motions.
Okay,
First
all right,
motion, just
all right,
agricultural.
Okay, we'll do the first exemption, okay, farm buildings,
For ag-
cover all. Okay,
Agriculture.
agriculture, okay, so we got a mover?
Yep.
We got a seconder?
Yep.
Okay, all in favor? Carried, thank you, okay, second part.
Councillor Settle maybe wants
So
to make the motion.
That would be the staff report to come back on the coverall and the T buildings, whatever they're called, sorry. That's there for commercial and industrial development charge exemptions.
Yeah, okay. Okay, second. All right, all in favor? Carried, thank you. Okay, we're going. All right, correspondence, proclamations. First one is Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Advisory Committee, City of Quinte West, Requesting Council proclaim March the 1st as Zero Discrimination Day in the City of Quinte West. And the resolution, the council proclaim March 1st, 2026 as Zero Discrimination Day. Mover and a seconder. Councilor McHugh moves, seconded by Councilor Quinte. Comments or questions? All in favor? Carried, thank you. Okay, the next one I've got is proclaim March the 15th as International Long COVID Awareness Day. Okay. Mover and a seconder for this one, please. Councilor Card, seconded by Councilor Elliott. Comments or questions? All in favor? Carried, thank you. Okay, the next one is council proclaim March the 1st to the 31st as Liver Health Month in the City of Quinte West, and further that the Quinte West sign and the Veteran Skyway Bridge be illuminated in the color blue from March 1st, 31st, pending no scheduling conflicts. Councilor McHugh, Councilor Stedall, comments or questions? All in favor? Carried, thank you. Okay, the next one is the council proclaim March the 1st to the 31st as amyloidosis Awareness Month in the City of Quinte West, and further the Quinte West sign and Veteran Skyway Bridge be illuminated in the color red from March 1st, 31st, pending no conflicts. All right, moving a seconder for this one, please. Councilor Reed, Councilor Armstrong, okay. Thank you. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Carried, thank you. Okay, printed information. Printed information, I need a mover and a seconder. Councilor McHugh, seconded by somebody. Councilor Quinte, okay. Questions or comments? All in favor? I'm sorry, somebody have a question?
Just a very minor change on the economic development minutes. It's the Chamber of Commerce 75th anniversary they celebrated, not the 73rd.
Okay, 75th, okay, thank you. Correct that, please. Okay, anything else? All in favor? Carried, thank you. Non-printed information, City of West applications for consent and minor variances, you got those, so I guess resolution that the printed and correspondence items 11.1 AG for council information be received and filed, and further that the non-printed correspondence item 11.2 for council information be received and filed. Mover and the seconder, please. Councilor Elliott moves. Armstrong, Councilor Armstrong seconds. Okay, any comments or questions? All in favor? Thank you very much. Carried. Okay. No notice of motion. Anything under new other business? I don't have anything. Bylaws. Bylaws be read a first, second, and third time, so.
Mr. Mayor, I have a conflict on the one under
Yeah.
14.2 Corporate Services, 26026, due to the nature of my employment.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Can you pull that from the rest of the bylaws?
Well, I don't need to pull it, do I? You just don't vote on it.
That means I can't vote on any of the other bylaws.
Yeah, okay. All right, we'll pull
Save any
26026 then. Okay, we'll pull that one. All right, all bylaws except 26026. Councilor Boyce moves, Councilor Elliott seconds. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Carried, thank you. Okay, the one that I pulled, then I need to move in the seconder for that one. Councilor Reed moves, seconded by Councilor Boyce. Comments or questions? All in favor? Carried, thank you very much. Okay. I guess the last one is that bylaws be read a first, second, and third time, and said bylaws having now been read and passed, the mayor, city clerk have designated authority to sign. So, do we need to have a resolution for that one? I don't think so, okay. Okay, anything else under, any comments? Did I get everybody's comments to start with?
I had something, Mr. Mayor.
Pardon? Go ahead.
I have something, and I'll be very brief, but I thought it was important that our Hastings County, our subcommittees that many of our councilors sit on, long-term care, human and community services, and our paramedics EMS. We had fulsome budget meetings last Wednesday, and I know the mayor was there for our, supporting our paramedics and our services for Hastings County. And I want to report to all of council, we came within the budget that council supported, and we have a little bit to go into a surplus for our services. Not a lot, but I just wanted to assure you that we're within the budget approved. There'll be no change to the tax rate, and we're pretty happy with that. And and it was just a really good meeting because of the paramedic services, the ambulances, the services, the human and social services, the children programs and so forth. And of course, our long-term care facilities, which do have waiting lists, and we work very hard to provide the standard of care for our residents there in both Hastings Manor and Centennial Manor. So great
Any
programs.
further, one further comment you want to, what's causing all the,
The expenses?
well, the expenses are where they are, but what are we short of besides?
Well, we always need the provincial funding,
right.
right? And we really fight hard for that, but that is a big piece of our situation. Thank you.
Thank you. I agree. I agree with you. Councillor McHugh.
Yeah, to your worship, I thank Councilor Sharp for that report. I sat on those three committees. I know it takes a lot of time and a lot of commitment, but do we have an update on our two paramedics that were involved in that tragic accident a couple of weeks ago? I've seen nothing in the news lately, so, and our hearts go out to them and their families as well, so.
Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%, and the one lives in Quinte West.
I didn't know this. I don't know the background at all, but maybe.
And I want to mention Councillor Armstrong and Councillor O'Neill, and I'm missing someone else. Oh, Councillor right next door here. They sit on these various committees. I will just say that the chief gave us a report, and they're moving forward in a positive way. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, yes. And Maya Nichols lives in, on, what is it, Nichols Road? I think it is, yeah. And her grandfather drove truck for many years for Tim Donaldson. And the dad, Rob, is, I don't know whether Rob's still working at Napanee in the rubber plant or not, I don't know, but we certainly wish her well, and her partner, we want them both to return to work and be in good health. And they have had a GoFundMe account, so if you have a little bit of change to donate, they would certainly appreciate it, because many of the costs, I understand, are not covered, so that's what I was told. So that's all I know. I don't know any more, but any kind of accident is serious, and at 401, I appreciate all the first responders who respond to that road. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, we didn't really have announcements. There's just a couple of things before the next council meeting that we made. I just wanted to talk about. The coldest night of the year is coming up on February 28th. That fundraiser, I know Councillor Armstrong, I don't know if he wants to speak to it, but he's got a group for us to raise some funds for that. And as well, International Women's Day is coming up on March the 8th. And I know we have a council meeting before that, but there is the business professional women's Hastings and Prince Edward is putting on an event on Friday, March the 6th, 2026, and tickets are available for sale right now for any of the business women that are interested in attending that. And I also had a notification as well from our library that they have, the Quinte West Library has an International Women's event. It's on March 14th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And that'll be, there's 3 speakers. Anyway, they're coming up, and I thought I'd give a little bit of notice. I'll probably make an announcement at the next meeting, but our next meeting of council is right before that Friday. So, thank you.
Okay, I got a, yeah, I can't even get it open.
Question right here, sir.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Worship. I was just going to acknowledge Mike and Nikki Eden, chose by the Chamber of Commerce for the honorary lifetime membership award this year. They'll be celebrated at the President's Dinner on March 26th, the AGM.
Thank you. Okay. So we got, I've got two business openings. I think Royal Heritage Realty Limited, the grand opening is coming up on the, February the 20th, and the other one is also on the 20th, and it's Ace Indoor Golf grand opening. So that's coming up very soon, so. Okay, Inspector, anything you would like to say? Great.
No, one thing I can add just is that we have a recruit graduating on Friday, so that'll be one more officer working in Quinte West as of Monday is his first shift.
Wow, good
Thank
for
you.
you.
I'll be in Aurelia for the graduation.
Any update on the other issue we seem to have a lot of called impaired driving?
There's nothing that has changed, I would say, in January and February. Numbers are still increasing. We've been doing a lot of ride programs. At the end of shift report this morning had 2 impaireds from last night. So,
Thank you very much.
thank you.
Anything else? Anybody, any other?
Confirmation bylaw.
Okay, confirmation bylaw. Need 2 for the confirmation bylaw. Councilor McHugh, Councilor Reed, all in favor? Carried, and 2 for adjournment, and thank you very much.
On the personnel.
Oh, yeah, we gotta go into personnel, right, that's right. So I gotta go into that, so we'll go into the other room.